Hi, first graders. I hope you enjoyed the Coolest Bears and also the Penguin Scholastic magazine. What fun was it to play those games and listen to those magazines? Now that we've listened to both magazines, we are going to do a comprehension check and answer some questions about the Coolest Bears magazine that we just read on Scholastic. So have that magazine nearby because we might need to look back to reference it for answers. And then we also are going to have out this paper that goes along with the Scholastic News. So if you need to pause the video to find the Coolest Bear magazine, as well as this paper, it's two-sided, you can go ahead and find that now. When you come back, we will do this activity together. So you'll follow along with me here where I will share my screen and we will go through and answer these questions together, looking back in our magazine to help us find the supporting answer. All right. Thank you for finding those activities for us and getting ready to answer some questions about the Coolest Bears. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now so that we can take a look at these papers together. Here it comes. Thank you for being patient while my iPad is thinking and we get it up on the screen. Okay, the Coolest Bears was the title of our Scholastic News for today. So our first question says, now remember, we can always look back if we don't remember the answer. So that's why I'm keeping my magazine close by as well. So question 1, what is one way polar bears stay warm? Let's look back in our magazine to see if we can find one way polar bears stay warm. I'm going to put my... Now, as we are looking through, I found the word warm. That gives me a clue that I might be able to find a way that polar bears stay warm in this paragraph. So let's read it one more time to see if we can find how the polar bears stay warm. Polar bears' bodies keep them warm. They have fat under their skin. It is like a warm winter coat. Oh, they have fat under their skin. Does that fat help their body stay warm? Absolutely. So let's take that idea and turn it into a sentence. Now remember, we can't just copy what's written in the magazine. So we have to read, cover, tell. What is one way polar bears stay warm? They have fat under their skin. I read it. Now I'm going to cover it. Polar bears stay warm because they have fat under their skin. Now I can write it. Polar, I see this here, bears stay warm because they have fat under their skin. I ran out of room, but that's okay. I just went down below to finish my sentence. If you need to pause this video so that you can get this sentence written on your page as well, you can pause now. Let's take a look at question 2. What is a polar bear den? Let's see if we can find that in our story. Dig dens. There's that key word. So let's reread to see if we can find the answer. Polar bears dig dens in the snow. A den is a cozy cave. A den is a cozy cave. I think I might need that information. Let's look back at my question. What is a polar bear den? A cozy cave, a kind of fur, or a baby polar bear? That's right, a cozy cave. I see that in my magazine, so I can color the bubble next to the correct answer. Let's look at question 3. Which one shows how cubs stay warm in the den? All right, we're going to stay here in this section about dens because the next question is about dens too. They stay far apart, they cuddle, or they swim. Well, let's look back. Polar bear moms have babies in the den. The babies are called cubs. They all cuddle up to stay warm. So do they stay far apart? No. Do they cuddle? Yeah, let's make sure that's the only answer. Or they swim. No, swimming isn't going to keep them warm. They cuddle to stay warm. Circle or color 3 words that describe polar bear fur. Is polar bear thick? Yeah, it is. I'm going to circle it. Is polar bear fur white? Well, when I look at the picture, I see it's white. Is it thin? No, that's the opposite of thick. Is it blue? No, their fur isn't blue. Is their fur chilly? No, it doesn't keep them chilly. It keeps them warm. And last, is it waterproof? Oh, look, when I look back in my magazine, I see right here, their fur is waterproof. I better circle waterproof because that describes the polar bear's fur. These words are adjectives that describe the polar bear's fur. Good job finding those adjectives that work for polar bears. Remember, if you need to pause at any time to make sure you have this activity caught up, you can pause your video. If you're ready, let's turn it over to our main idea activity. The main idea is that polar bears have different ways to stay warm. We learned a lot of those ways in our magazine when we were listening along. So let's see if we can understand why or what those different ways are. So one detail from our magazine was that fat helps them stay warm. What else did we learn about the fat of the polar bears? Well, polar bears' bodies keep them warm. They have fat under their skin. It's like a warm winter coat. Fat helps them stay warm. What does that fat do? Or where can we find it? That's information we can add. It is under their skin. Period. We know that the fat is under their skin, and that's what helps those polar bears stay warm. Pause if you need to write this detail on your activity as well. Let's jump over to detail number 2. Fur helps them stay warm. Oh, let's find our section about fur. Oh, here's information about fur. There's that keyword fur, F-U-R. Their fur is waterproof. It keeps out water. Polar bears don't get too wet or too cold. Let's see if that information helps us. Fur helps them stay warm. What do we know about the fur? Did you say it's waterproof? That's a great detail we could add. It is waterproof. Now I'm spelling these words correctly because I'm finding them right here in my magazine. Fur helps them stay warm. It is waterproof. Good details about ways that the polar bear stays warm. Pause if you need to finish writing detail number 2. And let's hop down now to detail 3. A den helps them stay warm. Okay, here's the section about dens. Let's see what information we have here. Polar bears dig dens in the snow. A den is a cozy cave. Polar bear moms have babies in the den. The babies are called cubs. They all cuddle up to stay warm. A den helps them stay warm. What do you think we can add about the den? What is a den? Let's give more details about what a den is. Well, we learned that it is a cozy, I'm going to add another detail, comfortable cave where they live with their cubs. That gives us even more details about the den where the polar bears live. It's cozy and comfortable. It's a cave. It's where they live with their cubs to stay warm. Go ahead and write that detail. For detail number 3, pause the video if you need to while you write these words. Detail 4, cuddling helps them stay warm. The cubs, okay, they all cuddle up to stay warm. We found that over in the section about dens. The cubs, do they cuddle up and stay really close? The cubs get really close and cuddle. That helps them stay warm in their den. These are details or facts that we learned from our magazine. The main idea on this activity was that polar bears have different ways to stay warm. This is called a mind map, where we created 4 details to support the main idea. But remember, first graders, we can always go back to the text to find those supporting details. We don't have to remember everything we read, especially in a nonfiction magazine. It gave us lots of information. So it's okay if we don't remember everything. That's why we keep our magazine close by so that we can go back to find those answers again later if we need to. So I'm glad you enjoyed listening to The Coolest Bears. And thanks for following along with me and completing both sides of our reading activity today. I hope you learned something new about polar bears today as well.